The games might end, but the drama, oh, that never stops. What's up, y'all? It's V with Reality Recap, and welcome to Off the Field with Sam Sports Media, where we're not talking stats, we're talking stories. Because whether it's breakups, link ups, or situations that have the internet's talking, I'm here to give you context, the details, and of course, the tea. So let's get into it. What's up, y'all? It's your girl V. And before we get into all these hot topics, let's make sure we take care of some business. If you like reality TV or you love this segment, make sure you're following me at reality_recap right here at the bottom of the screen on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Threads. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's coming across the bottom of the screen, Reality Recap 2876. And don't forget to follow Sam's Sports. That's SAMZ Sports for this magazine that's coming out so that you can continuously check this link and get the articles on all the trending sports drama and tea. We're going to jump right into the topics, starting with Dak Prescott. We'll go through a little recap of what's going on. He recently filed for joint custody and put himself on child support. And I want to talk to you on why I think that was a good idea. So, Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott is reportedly going through it emotionally following his split from his fiancee, Sarah Jane Ramos. And the breakup sounds recent and messy. The two allegedly called off their engagement just weeks before their planned wedding in Italy. Sources say the split came after an argument during their vacation. Their vacation was actually a joint bachelorette party, which screams trust issues. I know a lot of people were saying that, oh, it was because she didn't want to sign a prenup. We'll talk about that. I don't believe that. And I'll give you my reasoning behind that. Despite the breakup, they are reportedly trying to stay amicable for the children and working out a custody arrangement. Now, here's why I'm going to give you, because I wrote down a few things as to why I feel like this wasn't over a refusal to sign a prenup. And not to mention, I believe that it was due to cheating by Dak Prescott. And that's what's actually been out. Incredible sources on the internet. But why I don't think that this was over a prenup or people are trying to make like, oh, she was after his money and wouldn't sign the prenup. He's in Texas. We're not in the 90s anymore. There are laws in certain states, California, Florida, those states might still be a place where you could get good money out of an athlete after having children with them or being their fiance or being married. But other states that really protect rich men or rich people in general, Texas being like number one on there for me, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, you see where I'm going with this? They don't really leave it up to the baby mama, the fiance, or the wife to just get buku loads of money. Let's be clear. So, Texas is a community property state. So, what that means is she's only entitled to anything that they've acquired during the marriage, which they did not get married. And that includes his current contract. He signed the contract before the marriage was supposed to happen. So she's not entitled to any of that money. She can contest it all she wants, but she's not entitled to any of that money. Texas is also a no common law state. So she can't claim to be his wife. Y'all know there's no such thing as a common law wife in Texas where, oh, you've been together 5+ years, 10+ years. That automatically makes you his wife in the eyes of the court. Doesn't work that way. It's a non-common law state. Also in Texas, the cap of child support that she could receive is $2,950, and that's combined for both kids. So this is not a money grab. Um, she also can't just ask for money for a nanny or to go to private schools. And if she does request that, Dak has the right to get an order where he pays the nanny and the private school directly. It's no money going to her and then she can side pocket some of it. He can actually put an order in to pay the nanny, the school directly. Not to mention, the nanny would need to be vetted out as far as requirements as to why she needs a nanny. Is she going to work? Is she going to school? She can't just have a nanny for the sake of having a nanny in Texas. Now, I will say this was also a tell-all tale to me is that his fiance Sarah is originally from Florida. And there's no such thing as kidnapping your own kids. So if she really wanted to get him for his money, she could have left and moved to Florida. And then she could have filed for child support, you know, and possibly gotten way more than $2,950. And not saying that she wasn't going to do that eventually, but Dak went down, and this is why I say it was smart that he went down to the courthouse. Him and his lawyers went down to the courthouse immediately and filed for joint custody, and he put himself on child support. And shout out to attorney Simone Redwine, who really gave me all these details. Y'all know I got to come with the facts because I don't play. That kind of went over this with me. But he went down to the courthouse and filed joint custody and put himself on child support, and he filed it in Texas. So now, even if she does try to go to Florida, it's already filed in Texas. So she won't get more than the $2,950. Now, that doesn't seem like a bad guy. I think he may give her more than that on a monthly basis. That's where the law is capped. But if he wants to give more to her, he's more than able to do so. But I think it was a good idea for him to file in Texas so she can't go to any other state and request more money than he would be willing to give. Also, with Dak putting himself on child support, now that comes with stipulations as he want to. He can make her sign an NDA. So she can't write any tell-all books or go be on a reality TV show, which sucks for me because I would be covering it. But she won't be able to do that if he chooses to say, hey, I'm going to give you this amount, but you have to sign this NDA. So honestly, I think that this was a smart move by him. Finally, a smart move because having children before the marriage and all of that, hey, I can't even say that's not a smart move because, you know, looks like they both dodged a bullet at this point. And let me be clear, just because I don't believe that she was after money or didn't want to sign a prenup, I think women these days have to really think about what they're getting themselves into. There's a saying in the Bible, right? It is easier for a rich man to enter, no, it's easier for a camel to enter the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to get into heaven. And they say that because they say a rich man will worship his money, not God. And in this lifestyle of celebrity status, he's a freaking quarterback of one of the top teams in the NFL. Top teams as far as popularity, not stats and football rings. I know that. Um, but you have to know that that may come with groupies, women. So to go into these relationships at this point in the game, expecting them to be solely committed to you with all the temptation that comes their way is honestly crazy to me. That's just my thoughts. So you have to be real with yourself. Do you want to cry in a Rolls Royce or do you want to cry in a Nissan? Because it's giving she on her way back to the Nissan. So we'll see how this plays out. But I pretty much done told y'all how it's, how it's going to play out since he has filed for the joint custody and put himself on child support. So smart move on Dak's part. Legally, he has great counsel. Keep them on your team, my boy. That works out for you. Now let's move on to Stefon Diggs and Cardi B. Are they back together? The rumor mills are swirling. So Stefon Diggs supported Cardi B at her DC concert. He brought his mom there as well as his brother Trayvon Diggs. They was all on camera. They were seen dancing at the concert. And also after the concert in every city, Cardi B has an after party at a club that she attends. And he was in attendance of the after party. They were seen after the after party. They walked out separately. She goes to his car window, to his, driver window. They say something and she gets in his Ferrari with him and they speed off. So I don't know if they back together officially, but it seems like they are past their Super Bowl drama. If you need a quick recap of the Super Bowl drama during a Super Bowl practice, Stefon Diggs, it broke the internet. Tasha K was the one that reported it, that he had a woman that he claims to be his best friend. I forget her name right now, but he has a woman that's his best friend at the practice, and she was wearing a jacket that's only given to like wives and girlfriends at the Super Bowl. She also had a pass that said like, a part of his hotel accommodations. And this woman that's his best friend is also said to be one of Cardi's estranged husband Offset's mistresses. On top of that, Stefon did have, because he had multiple women pregnant at the same time as Cardi B, and they all been born like one after each other. So one of his newer baby mothers were also at the game, sitting with his mom, and Cardi, for some reason, took offense to that. Now, that part I really didn't understand. The whole best friend situation, bringing her to the game, it's all about optics. I'm wondering, did Cardi know that this was his best friend beforehand? If it's really your best friend, I would think so. Maybe she wasn't expecting her to be at the practices or to be at the game sitting damn near front row. But as far as the other baby mother, you knew these things. You were on, Cardi was on the internet cracking jokes like, "What you want me to do? You pregnant? I'm pregnant. We just gonna have to babysit." And this is real life. You have to get along with the other baby mothers. So she ended up not really supporting him at the Super Bowl. He did terrible in the Super Bowl. I think his mind was gone at that point after all of the media and everything surrounding what was taking place. It didn't fare out well for him on the field. And ultimately, his team lost, not just at the hands of him, but he was definitely a part of it. He did absolutely nothing in the Super Bowl. So yeah, I don't know if they are back together, but seemingly on better terms than they were when we last seen them in the presence of each other. Speaking of Stefon Diggs and Cardi B, news broke that Offset asked Cardi B for a DNA test. And the internet was ablaze saying, "Oh my goodness, he's asking for a DNA test of the baby that Cardi shares with Stefon Diggs because he's trying to say that that baby is his." So let's look into the facts. So Offset did request a DNA test as part of their ongoing divorce proceedings. The filing happened around February 2026. So the request was tied to a newborn child, which lines up with the time Cardi B and Stefon Diggs' baby was born. The baby was born in November of 2025. But here's the key part: a judge denied the DNA test request for that baby. However, the court did approve a DNA test for another child involved in the case, but it doesn't say which baby. I would assume it's the baby girl that they had their third child together that was born not too far before Cardi had her baby with Stefon Diggs. So it seems like Cardi right now might have two under two, along with her oldest daughter and her son. So and her oldest son. So yeah, so it looks like, Offset definitely was trying to push the envelope. He's doing everything he can to make this divorce a living hell for Cardi. But at the end of the day, the judge denied that DNA test. So if you see any reports that, oh, he got the test or the test was had or the baby is Offset's, all that foolishness and clickbait, don't believe it. The judge denied it. Lastly, I will say, as far as Stefon Diggs, there are reports that another woman had a baby recently that is said to be his, which would make it his eighth child. Now, the woman has took to the internet denying the claims, saying that it's not true. I'll leave her identity anonymous at this point, but she's taken to the internet, saying that these allegations are untrue. Stop playing with her. But y'all know the internet FBI crew. They've been investigating and they went back in her content on her Instagram and saw what she was posting numerous pictures of her at football games at Houston Texans Stadium, where we know Stefon was a part of the team during that time. So that doesn't necessarily mean that they had a baby together, but the way he pops out babies left and right, that's kind of what comes with it. It's almost like when you lie and then you telling the truth later, everybody's going to question if you're really lying or telling the truth. Same applies here. If you're having 2, 3, 4 babies at a time by different women, why wouldn't this eighth baby, the internet believe that it's his? But he hasn't spoke on it publicly. The woman again says that these rumors are not true. So I will continue to investigate and follow this story. Our next story: resort rendezvous, or was it innocent? Let's take a look into this. Let me pull up my notes on this story. So, Patriots coach and reporter resort situation. This one is messy in a different way. More low key scandal vibes. So, New England Patriots head coach Mike Rebel was spotted at an adults only resort in Arizona. He was photographed holding hands, hugging, getting close and holding hands and hugging with NFL reporter Diana Rossini. The issue: they are both married. Now, their response: both denied anything inappropriate. They claimed the photos were misleading and that they were with a larger group. Her employer even backed her publicly. But the thing is, I'm going to pull up these pictures so you can see it. The thing is that people on the resort say they didn't see a larger group. They didn't see this larger group that they're talking about. They also claim that after that they went up to meet with more people that they were on this work trip with. But I'll pull up the pictures. Y'all tell me what y'all think and we'll go from there, honey. So yeah, we'll look at the pictures. They know each other. They know each other. Let me scroll up. Are they up here? Yep. And let me make myself smaller so you can see it. So these are the pictures. They're lounging by a pool area. They're seen hugging here. That's a closer view of it. Holding hands, hands interlocked. I don't know. You guys be the judge. You tell me in the comments, do you think this is innocent? They in the hot tub, both leaving the pool, trying to leave it separately. But again, both Rossini and Rabal insist they were there with friends and say they simply weren't visible in the pictures. A source close to Rossini says she was staying at the hotel during a hiking trip with two female pals. One of Rabal's friends told Page Six that they and the coach drove up to Sedona for the day with another pal and that they all drove back to their own hotel some 2 hours away after hanging out with Rossini and her gang. But three other eyewitnesses told Page Six that they did not see anyone else with Rabal or Rossini. Yikes, yikes, yikes. Why I keep calling him that? Rebel attended a scouting event at Arizona State University in Tempe on Friday, March 27th, before traveling 125 miles to hang out with Rossini to this adult resort. So is it giving romantic getaway or innocent friends hanging out? You tell me. All I can say on that is, do the respective significant others know about this? Are they okay with this? Haven't seen any reports of what they think. I just know for me, I'm not here for my husband hanging out by no pool and no adults only spa resort with a reporter. Yeah. And even if it was innocent, it's all about the optics of it, especially when you're in the public eye. So to be out there holding hands, hugging, there's no one else around them. We had a wide shot. There's nothing but mountains around them. There's nobody else at the pool lounge tables around them. I personally think that this was a scandal, but they both have spoken out and said that this was innocent, no news to report. So we'll see if anybody's significant other start filing for divorce, honey, or if they speak out. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments what you think. Now, for our last story, since we've been talking all scandals, Josh Allen is a girl dad. Yes, Josh Allen is a girl dad. Where the hell is my phone? Pull it up for you guys so we can talk about it because I don't know where my phone is right now. Let's look into it. So Josh Allen and his wife, Haley Steinfeld, had a baby earlier in the month of March, but no specific date was given. The two met in around 2024. They were engaged by 2025, married, and here we are. So, congratulations to him and his wife. I know his wife was on the cast of Sinners. I believe they won an Oscar. She couldn't attend because she was at home. So, yeah, congratulations to Josh Allen. Hopefully, this continues to give him motivation so that he can make it to the Super Bowl, push to win one for his baby girl and his wife. But congratulations to him. All right. So that is all of the news that I have for you guys on this segment. I hope you enjoy it because I enjoyed talking to you. Now, If you know, you know. I always say reality TV stars are humans too, if you follow me on Reality Recap. So, no difference here. Remember, athletes are humans too. I'm V with Reality Recap. This is Off the Field, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.